quick chat about 2026, where people are aiming to go, what can we do to be a little bit more targeted with our work, and where we want to take it, right? And this is something that I would recommend you do at whatever stage in your career that you're at. So I'm just going to open this up. Some long-term watchers and viewers and that sort of stuff would have seen this before, but I just want to. This is something that I do with a couple of online students of mine, and start of the year is a good time to kind of do it, right? I'm going to do it with one of my students is going to do it with the Japanese guy here on Thursday, I think. I did it over the weekend as well. So this is a useful exercise, and it's something that I kind of want to sit down and do as well, right? So regardless of what level you're at, this is a kind of an exercise to refocus your work, right, where you want to be, rather than just setting up the lights and going through the motions, right? So essentially, this is a PDF that I give out to students. And look, if you're interested in this, you want to copy this PDF, message me and I'll send it over. It's no worries. Probably message me via my website is going to be the best place, because it'll go straight to my emails. If you message me on Instagram, I promise you it will get lost. But anyway, so really what this kind of exercise goes over is really going over why it's important to kind of develop this personal eye that is specifically tailored to you, i.e. your photographic style, right? How do you develop this photographic style? And one of the things that us as artists or creatives really need to bear in mind is how important and fundamental that style is. And, one of the things is, to see any sort of success in anything, in my mind, it comes down to like three things, right? You can either be like the best at what you do, which makes sense, right? If you're a Formula One driver and you can drive around the track faster than anybody else, you're gonna make decent money, right? It's like if you're the best and you can kind of prove it, then you're gonna make money, right? If you're a footballer and you score more goals than everybody else, like, it's pretty good, right? You're going to be worth a lot. Where it kind of gets hazy for us as photographers is it's very difficult for us to prove that we're great. It's very difficult for us to prove that we're the best, right? We were just looking at what Christopher Anderson's work there. He's obviously very highly regarded and works all over the world. But a lot of people could say his work's fucking terrible, right? So it's very difficult for us to prove that we're the best at what we do, right? And a lot of art falls in this same category, right? This is why musicians, it's very difficult to prove that you're the best at making songs. Is why we have so many different bands and musicians and that sort of stuff, and it's why kind of all their albums cost pretty much the same, right? Jeff playing the banjo at the pub is selling his album for the same price as U2, right? It's because it's subjective, right? It's only worth it to the person who's buying it, right? And photography and art falls into that category as well. So for us, proving that we're the greatest is tricky to do. The other thing that you can do to be successful is just to be cheaper, right? If you're going to be selling a dog bowl online, and I can get that same dog bowl cheaper somewhere else, I'm going to buy that one, right? It's the same product, I can get it cheaper somewhere else. Fine, right? And again, it's difficult for us. We can't do that. We can't just be cheaper. There are people out there now. I can Google it now, where there are wedding photographers out there now who will pay you to shoot your wedding, right? And that sounds crazy, but they want the experience. They want the images for their portfolio. There are people who are willing to pay you to shoot your wedding. That sounds terrifying, I know, but you can find them right now, right? They are willing to do it. So us as photographers, we can't just be the cheapest. We can't go, well, I'll just be cheaper than the guy next to me. That's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. You'll never be able to go cheap enough, right? So look, we can't really be the the greatest, because it's difficult to prove. We can't be the cheapest because it's just not viable. So the only other option we have is to offer something different, offer something unique. And if you can offer something unique, you can sell it, right? Because if they can't get it anywhere else, they have to come to you to buy it, right? Now, granted, I've done very well off my colored lighting style, but so many other people out there have made a decent living for offering something unique and doing something well. So this is why photographic style is really important to us or musicians, right? If you've got your voice sounds a certain way and that sort of stuff, that's what's the unique selling point, right? And that's why it's really kind of important for us to understand how we can offer something unique and then kind of double down on it, right? That's the importance of a photographic style. So where do we kind of get tactical with this? And one thing is to kind of highlight that you have a personal preference yourself, right? You are looking at images online all day, every day. We see thousands of images online all day, every day. How can we kind of turn that into our own style? Like, what is our own photographic style? And the reality is that you can't avoid a photographic style. People go, oh no, Jake, I like to shoot everything, and I don't want to be tied down to a style. You got to stop thinking about it like that. It's not being tied down to anything. It's just what you enjoy shooting. That is your style, right? So here, for example, I got 3 images here, and I'm sure I could ask each of you in turn which is your favorite image, and a bunch of you are going to choose 1, 2, or 3. Like, you're going to choose different ones, right? Not all of you are going to choose the pink one. Not all of you are going to choose the black and white one. Not all of you are going to choose the pastel headshot here, because you all have personal preferences, right? And it's us trying to unlock those personal preferences is going to be the route to your photographic style, right? So the point here that I'm making is that you already know what you like, and that's the really important thing. I want you to take this away. I want you to trust and follow it. So my point being is that whoever you are going to have a preference of images. We just need to kind of target that. So what we can do is go away, and what I would recommend you doing is going away and like just sitting down for an hour and a half on the internet. Try and avoid Instagram if you can. Like, it's fine to use Instagram. I just think that algorithms and that sort of stuff it's Instagram is at the moment is not a great place for phenomenal imagery, right? I think you have to dig through a lot to get it. It is on there, but it's kind of harder to see. So Pinterest isn't perfect, but it'll probably show you something that's engaging, at least, right? Something that's new, has more opportunity to show you something more in line with what you're after. So sit down and choose like 20 images that you think are the best 20 images you've ever thought of, right? The most amazing 20 images that you can possibly imagine, the best images photographed by humanity, and put them into this kind of mood board thing, right? And then sit down and kind of break apart those 20 images and think, what is it about these that I'm really drawn to? Now, this is actually something that I did a million years ago. This is like things that I was inspired by in 2001, right? So back then, a little bit of a while ago now, like 25 years ago or something like that. But this was kind of my mood board of stuff that was just like, yeah, this is great. And we got Nick Knight in here. We got Nadav Kanda, and I think we've got, I forget his name now. Doesn't really shoot stills anymore. Name will come in a minute, but it's kind of interesting that this was the work that I was kind of inspired by like 25 years ago, and you can see similarities in this style in my current work now, right? There's kind of long exposure, beautiful pastel colors. Even like Nick Knight was just leagues ahead of his time. Again, beautiful skin tones. And that was like 25 years ago, right? So sit down, do this, and then I kind of break these images apart and really, look at similarities in the 20 images that you've chosen, right? Is it everything shot at a low angle? Like, are you kind of like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Everything shot with bright, strong primary colors? Is everything shot with dynamic poses? Like, look at the posing. Is everything shot with a slightly wide angle lens? Like, maybe it's shot at 35mm, or is everything shot like tight close-ups? Everything shot at like 105mm? how high is the photographer in relation to the to the model? Images where you're like sat on the ground and super dynamic, crazy poses, bold colors. Look at color groups. Try and break down some of the elements within those images that you are really drawn to. And then once you've done that, try and break it out, right? So it's like, and you can be super basic if you want. Color, right? Super, like, it doesn't get any more basic than that. Sense of movement. So a lot of these poses are a bit more dynamic, right? We got sense of movement with the long exposure and stuff here. Wasn't really expressing myself or understanding it fully at the time. Expressive posing. So again, like real strong, angular posing, dynamic posing, contrast, sure with the colors, themed palettes. So that was my phrase for color grading at the time, right? Saturation. So again, pretty vague, but yeah, strong colors as well as pastel colors as well. Now, what you have there then is utterly unique to you, right? If you sit down and you do this properly, and don't be, you don't need to share this with anybody. This is only to be shared with yourself, right? If you're totally honest with yourself, that's where you can find the truth behind what you really love about photography. And then if you can extract elements from that and put that into your own photography, you're going to start loving the images that you take a lot more, right? So if you're drawn to these dynamic poses with bold colors, boom, right? And you go, right, my next shoot, do you know what? I love this. I want to add dynamic posing and these strong colors to my next photo shoot. And you make sure that it's in the next photo shoot. And you just go on doing it like that and growing. And they're not all going to be winners, but if you do this more tactical, targeted approach to developing your look and your style, you're going to get there far faster than just going out and just shooting what you like or copying some YouTube channel. Nothing wrong with that. You can learn by doing that, but this is a far more tactical approach to finding what you love and what really excites you about imagery, and that's what develops your own personal style far quicker. Okay. So in here is kind of me, and again, I wrote this many years ago, but you can see, stuff that I was inspired by, like probably 15, 20 years before I shot these, right? Was this actually seeing it re-emerging in my work many years later, I find kind of wild, because it wasn't like, right, I want to take this image and I want to recreate it. These images came out of me being inspired by this work 20 years before, and it kind of being there, with these colors and stuff as well. It's nuts, actually. It's kind of crazy. So look, it is this was nuts as well. Bruno Diane, that's right. I don't really see, I think he only shoots film now, but as in video, but yeah, stuff that I was inspired by definitely crept out in my work many years later. So your personal preferences and style are there. You just kind of have to take a more tactical approach to kind of digging them out. Okay, like I said here, your photographic style is inevitable, literally. So you may as well embrace it now. Yeah.